should be tweaking. I don't know why he be moving the damn screen when I say move this. Like, what the world? Look at that. Look at that. I don't even know if I can show that shit. But we gonna see. What we gonna see? Why? Lights and shit. I'm thinking about it. While I'm thinking about it, turn off the front lights. I got a couple videos in mind. Living room lamp. I got a couple of videos in mind that I want to watch. I was gonna watch these two for sure. Let me take a picture so I can remember, cause I be losing train of thought sometimes. Trying to watch stuff. Okay.
We are following Celeste Rivas, according to the LAPD. This is a case that stretches back more than 2 years to when she was last seen alive. Her decomposed body found in the trunk of David's Tesla late last year. We're on the case presented by Law and Crime. I'm Chris Stewart. All right, let's get to this breaking news coming in right now from Los Angeles. A bombshell announcement by the LAPD announcing the singer. So many of you have been following this, and now it seems like the next step, a major step, is still something that's going to take some time before we learn a lot of information about this case, and we'll be talking to former federal prosecutor Nima Rahmani about that here in just a moment. But as we focus now on this announcement, it may feel like a long time coming because David was announced as a suspect in November of 2025. Now, before we get into what will happen next, I do want to get you up to speed on this case because it is one that has been going on in some ways months, in other ways years. According to the LAPD, this all started in September of 2025, and that is when officers responded to an impounded lot in Hollywood after there were reports of a foul odor coming from a vehicle, a Tesla. Now that vehicle, it had been towed days. Police say that vehicle, they found a body, and that body was later identified as a 14-year-old girl, her name Celeste Rivas Hernandez. Her body was in the front storage area of the Tesla, that's like the trunk of the vehicle, and it was in a state of decomposition, law enforcement said. Investigators have said that Celeste may have been dead for weeks before she was discovered. The teen's mom told investigators. So here we are in April of 2026 with David now under arrest in connection to her murder. Another point about her daughter, and it was that she had a boyfriend named David. Now, by late 2025, sources were telling ABC News that David was being considered a suspect in the case, but no charges had been filed. Yet behind the scenes, a grand jury had been hearing evidence in the case, including Burke's reported travel to the Santa Barbara area of California during the spring of 2025, and a search of the Hollywood Hills property where he was reportedly staying, and reports of a high-heat burn cage found at that location. Damn. Langston was arrested in Montana for failing. Was, for the most part, frankly, crickets in this case. No real developments, of course, until now. Joining us now to talk about this breaking news, former federal prosecutor Nima Rahmani, president of West Coast Trial Lawyers. Always great to have you on Law and Crime. Big story out of Los Angeles tonight. Just what's your reaction? Because we have been covering this for so long about David's arrest.
Chris, my reaction is better late than never. I think this was something that we've all been expecting. When a body is found decomposing in the frunk of your Tesla, and there has been a young girl who's been missing for quite some time, and there's plenty of evidence that she ran away with you or a member of your entourage. I think there was a lot of evidence here pointing to David, and really the question was, what really took so long? And I think my initial reaction is, I live and work in LA. I respect law enforcement, that things can move slowly here. But I think this investigative grand jury, I think, really is the answer. I think the DA wanted to lock in some members of David's inner circle to make sure that they cooperate, they don't go sideways at trial, and I think that's what they were waiting on before they ended up arresting.
So the announcement that came from the LAPD's TIO account says he's been arrested in connection to the murder of Celeste Rivas, and then it says that he's being held without bond, and then the case is going to be reviewed by the DA's office on Monday, or it goes in front of the DA's office on Monday. Like, if you can just walk us through the process tomorrow.
Well, typically, when you're talking about the DA, it's a reactive case. It's not like this. Law enforcement, they arrest someone, they prepare a report, that file lands on the DA's desk, and there's a charging DA for quite some time, and has been dead for also quite some time. So you have this case that has been worked on for more than 6 months now. I mean, I think, if I recall correctly, Celeste's body was found in September.
Yeah.
We all saw the video of the car being impounded and that search. Then, of course, law enforcement executed search warrants at David's home. Again, months and months ago. So this is the type of case that isn't just a file that lands on some DA's desk. This is a case that is being directed by prosecutors at the district attorney's office. They convene this investigative grand jury, and we know that a grand jury has two functions. In most states and at the federal level, their function is to indict, but it also has an investigative function. They have subpoena power, so they can subpoena people, witnesses, they can subpoena information and documents, and that's what the grand jury was doing in this case. So it seems to me that the prosecution has this all buttoned up right now. This isn't the type of case they're reacting to. This is a case where they think we not only have enough probable cause to get that arrest warrant and get past the preliminary hearing, but we have enough.
This came as a surprise.
I sit here in LA, and a lot of folks are asking, what is LAPD doing? How could a young girl be missing for so long? How could her teacher give an interview saying that she ran off with someone named David? How could her body be found in the trunk of a vehicle? I mean, even if it was an accident, I think really it's witness testimony, cooperators, whether it's electronic evidence, cell phones, social media. There's a lot of people watching pictures, images on social media, the two seemingly together. And I think all those are sort of bricks in the wall that are going to...
Like, celebrities, not a big deal for them in the way that it might be for other police departments across the country. When you look at the timeline, yeah, the case certainly has these elements that we followed the developments along the way, but how much did the celebrity of David add up?
Well, it's interesting. The celebrity factor, people think it helps. I don't necessarily think it helps being a celebrity in LA. In fact, it draws more attention to it. I mean, obviously, look, the case I kind of give the example of recently, she was just sentenced, Matthew Perry, right? He was involved in a drug-related death. He was a victim. But the fact that, the ketamine queen, Jasmine Song, killing Matthew Perry, that, and again, I'm not naive, that case was treated differently than the 2019 case when she killed someone with ketamine. So, the celebrity factor draws attention to it. The reality is we're talking about the case here on Law and Crime because it's David. And, there are many young girls that go missing, and I'm not talking about it. I'm not asked to speak about it, and it doesn't make it any different. It doesn't make, hundreds, thousands every single day. So I think the celebrity factor
some of the sneakers in PJ Tucker's sneaker collection. We're
Bro,
also going to be trying one of the best smash burgers I've ever had. And of course, we're in town for SneakerCon, so we're going to show you guys some crazy pairs. Lock in, get ready, and enjoy the video. Alright guys, we just pulled up to Better Generation. Dude, this is one of the craziest stores. Like, it's literally made out of old containers. It has a basketball court outside, like a whole kick it area, event space. It's one of the best retail stores I've ever been to. I'm not just saying that, like, I've been all over the world, some of the craziest stores ever, but this space right here, the way that it was built out, is super dope. So we're going to go in there, we're going to look at some of the clothing, some of the retail pairs they have, and then of course, like I said, check out PJ Tucker's collection. So let's go in. It's also Mina's first time here. It's my second time here, but again, the first time we came, we didn't really have access like that. So store's not even open yet, but we got the doors unlocked. So let's go. This is literally, bro, look, that's why it's so narrow. It's literally a container. And you got a bunch of brands here, and I want to pull this out first things first. The Shrek Market Tee, kind of like that old school, so you got a bunch of like Houston hats and stuff like that. You know, maybe not the boots, but the hat. Now we're gonna go to the sneaker space. Again, this is a retail store, so everything you guys see here is retail. And man, whoa, they got KD4s are back, PB&Js, All Stars. I haven't copped a pair yet. If I'm gonna get them, I'm gonna get them for hoop, and I have too many hoop shoes at the moment, so we're gonna take a break from those. But these are sick, bro. GT features, the penny colorway, this 3M colorway, these are nice too. But yeah, they got hoop shoes, they even have retros. They do all the retro drops. They do also get like crazy pairs here. They just got the off-whites. I did enter the raffle even though it was locals only, took the L. Maybe that's why. But yeah, these are sick too, the Kobe's. This one is like dedicated to the Forum. Is there more pairs over here? Oh yeah, we got more pairs, more lifestyle. Another one of Mina's favorite shoes. This is your size, you might have to pull these off. What? These are so sick. Every time I wear these, Mina be hating, but I love this pair. The Lower Merion Kobe Forces. Ooh, the new Drakes too. I haven't seen this. They did a white Love You Forever Drake Air Force, but it's like a clear midsole. Yeah, there's a lot of great pairs here, so you guys get the idea. But the main thing I want to see is over there in that room. All right, y'all, we're getting that access here. They don't usually open these for everybody, but for you guys, we got it.
Absolutely.
So let us know what we got going on here.
So this is PJ's personal collection right here. We have a display of just a few of his shoes because he has a ridiculous out to have on display in the store. Some of the coolest ones.
Hell yeah. Yeah, last time I was here, like I said, they showed love.
He just said he got apartments full of shoes. You know what that means?
Like, they let me film in the store, but we couldn't get the glass open, which sucked because there's a glare if you're trying to film it. So now that we can get it opened up, is collection. When I met him that one time in Miami, I threw it out there. He said one day. But we got a little preview right here. Man, this is crazy. First thing I noticed are these signed pairs. Mina, come check these out. The signed Kobe's. I don't even want to touch those ones, but this is a... Oh, you do? Yeah, let's get the glove. I'll get the glove on one hand. These are Kobe 1s, original Kobe 1s, signed by Kobe. I'm going to ask him the backstory because I don't know, did Kobe play in these versus PJ and he gave them after the game or something? Oh, by the way, look at this. This is PJ's BR Kicks Sneaker King of the Year award or something. Got a PJ jersey. So these Kobe's right here, gotta put the glove on. These Kobe's, were these like worn by Kobe versus PJ, or these are something that PJ hunted down later on? Like, what's the backstory?
Or something that PJ hunted down on his own.
Okay.
And I guess playing against Kobe himself was able to get him signed.
Am I allowed to pick this one up?
Absolutely.
Okay, cool. This one's crazy because this is a colorway that never even came out too.
Yep.
This is like a genuine Kobe PE, the 24 right there. Patent leather swoosh. Yeah, these are really nice. Clear outsole. I'm assuming this is a size 14 because that's Kobe's size. So
size 14, maybe size 15. It's kind of in that range.
Okay.
PJ will try and get his size, but obviously, you know, some of these pairs you cannot find in a size 14, so he'll squeeze down to 13 or wear a 15 if needed.
Yeah, PJ's a real sneakerhead, so he'll wear thin socks if he has to.
Absolutely.
And then we'll bring out some other stuff right here, like the OVOs, another PE, or Friends and Family pair. These are crazy. Little OVO on the
Those
back.
are called the God's Plan.
Okay.
So I believe they came out around the time that song came out, and that's where the sample comes from.
Yeah, there's so many like OVO samples that never came out. Like, we've obviously seen them, majority of them, but this one's definitely a beautiful pair. You see the little owl on the tongue. The Kawhis. Why did he display this? This is an interesting one because this isn't like a PE, but it is still a rare Jordan 1. Do you know the backstory on why he put these out here, or you just thought it was a cool pair?
I think he just thought it was a cool pair. You know, he's obviously really into basketball because he's an NBA player, and he has that like championship mindset. So I believe that's why he had this out here.
Okay, got the Kawhi hand logo. Obviously, Kawhi's not with Jordan anymore, but it's crazy to think that he won a championship as the Jordan Brand athlete. So it's a pretty cool pair. I know this is one of your girls, right?
Yeah, it is.
You've always wanted these. We never found it in her size. Get these Fear of Gods because this is a crazy one. This is a PE, or is this like a?
Those are a sample. I guess you could call it a PE, but those are PJ Tucker's personal sample. So he worked with Jerry Lorenzo on this pair right
Okay.
here, and designed it after his own inspiration, his favorite colors, things like that. So these are one of 3, I believe. Only PJ has them, Jerry has them, and then PJ's son is the only person who has a pair.
Look at that sample on the inside. It's super sick because it still looks like the original, but just the big bright orange twist on here.
Yep, absolutely.
This is a sick pair. I like this one a lot.
PJ loves like loud colors and things
Yeah.
that are just like very shocking in a lot of his shoes that we,
Yeah.
especially the ones that we have coming out. So
And then we got like some other pairs, the Vibe Air Force Ones. This is a clean pair. I like these ones a lot. This is Barcelona Kobe 7s.
yeah,
Dude, I love this one. This one and the other colorway are 2 pairs that I've always wanted. We got the Barcelona underneath the tongue. Hopefully they bring these back because they've been bringing back a lot of crazy Kobe's. But that one, I've never seen that. That 4, what is that? I was gonna say it kind of looks like it was a Bread Jordan 4 inspired, but I think that's a dark blue, right?
yeah, it's like a navy.
A really sick pair, yeah. I really like these. And then these 2 Kobe 6s. This is PJ's personal PEs, right?
Yes.
This one is so hard. Like, look at this colorway.
And
Damn.
that's what I'm talking about with the loud colors. Like
Mhm.
it's very PJ.
Yeah, beautiful pair. He played in these too, right? I'm assuming.
Yes, he did. I believe they're designed after his Miami days. Like that's the inspiration of them.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah,
the
they play
red pair right
fine
there,
games.
that's designed after his UT days. So it's kind of like from where he was to where he, or where he was to where he is.
Yeah.
You know, at the current time when the sample came out.
Yeah, these are sick. I like this because it's not as loud as that one, but if you
Yeah.
see it in hand, you see like the orange sock liner, the
Yeah.
orange on red. It pops in its own way, patent leather on the back.
It's a nice light fade. You know, if you
Yeah.
can see it on camera, it's like a lighter orange right there to the red. And then
Those, I do not know what these are or those are. We got some KD4s. That looks like it's a PE or something too. Yeah, it's a little too high for us to reach. You know what I'm saying? I'm not at PJ Tucker's height, but if you could see it, that looks like a crazy pair. Also got like the chunky Dunkies and then some Air Maxes. But that Kobe right there is another grail of mine. I've always loved that sneaker. It's like the one that's like I got I want to say this is the 8 from like this
all the time. We used to over in here.
yeah, at they cool sock lines to play to like help or something.
Let's be
It's
real.
cute. I literally low-key. Am I wearing it right?
No, you are.
Do I need to like tilt it up or something, or like look like I'm from a movie? Am I gonna get like?
Really quick.
Yeah.
We only had maybe a handful left over at the end of the release, and this is the last one.
Yo, I might do it. Honestly, with the fit right now, but I think SneakerCon might be the better move. We'll see. We'll see. I gotta decide on this one. What's the price tag on this? That's another big thing, cause
They're 99.
okay, it's not bad.
So what's the team again?
Houston Texans, right?
Yep.
I know that I might not watch baseball, but hey, I rock the hats all the time.
This nigga said, baseball. Hell no, man. What the fuck? Get your ass on.
All right, y'all. I'm super excited. We are at Burger Bodega in Houston. Burgers I've ever had. I came here a few years back with Ahmed. Shout out to Fire Burgers, hands down. So, no,
Hey.
who's gonna be eating a?
It's like another.
But this new, yeah, it literally feels like you ordered a little bit of everything. Like Mina approval. That's how you know it's lit.
It's like crispy.
Crispy, right? So
Yeah.
crispier than the New York.
Very, very much so.
Wow. All right, we're going in with the smash first. Oh my god. Have you seen those TikToks?
Who are you? Stop right there. Go ahead and stop right there.
This Idaho state officer is pointing his flashlight at 70-year-old Alan Bruce. He has no idea that the man he just ran into was in the middle of dumping human body parts in a nearby river after murdering, dismembering, and meticulously covering up the crime scene.
Okay, so what are you doing? All right, so you're just trying to keep an eye on stuff then.
Yeah, excuse me for if I got you excited.
All right.
After After Alan walks away, it would take investigators days to discover exactly what he dumped in the river, leading them through a twisted maze of misleading clues and disturbing discoveries, and what might be the worst crime these small-town officers will ever uncover.
Oh, it stinks bad. You can pick your friends, and you can pick your nose, but you can't pick your family.
There is nobody found. You is reduced down to nothing.
If this was a couple days later, bro had on the same shit.
It's a routine late spring in central Idaho. Tucked deep within its mountains sits the remote town of Chalice, a place surrounded on all sides by rugged terrain and long stretches of wilderness. And at the center of it all runs the Salmon River, better known as the River of No Return. The small town of Chalice is home to fewer than 1,000 residents. Crime rates here are remarkably low, and serious violent homicides are unheard of. But that's about to change, because a heinous crime happened somewhere in this town, and what's left of it now is in the Salmon River, waiting to be found. The investigation begins on an early Saturday afternoon, less than a year ago, when an elderly woman walks into the local police station to report someone missing.
Means that I'm just surprised you haven't been back to see. That's why I'm concerned.
Yeah. Do you know what he was wearing
Bro
last
just got
when he
convicted.
left?
Pair of boots, blue jeans, and I think it was a dark t-shirt and baseball cap, and he's got a little pug rider that is with him everywhere.
Who was Patrick to
It's
you?
one of my dear kids that I've taken under my wing.
Okay, so not biological.
No.
Okay.
This picture.
Yeah, picture, okay. Does this picture resemble what he looks like right now?
His beard is a little fuller, and his hair is in better shape than that.
The man in those photos is 47-year-old Patrick Shelton. His adoptive mother, Helen, goes on to explain that Patrick spends most of his time up in the mountains, cutting and selling firewood, often late at night. He's got a chainsaw, usually at least one weapon on him, and his dog Ryder is always by his side. Additionally, Patrick doesn't really have a fixed place to stay. He moves between properties, parking motorhomes and trailers on other people's land, often getting into disputes when it's time to leave. In most missing person cases, it takes days before investigators get a solid lead to work with. But in the town of Chalice, that process is about to be cut short.
I remember you mentioned something about when you talked about him going to Alan Bruce's. It seemed like you said something to where they had some conflict recently. They have.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you know why he went there?
He was supposed to go move his motorhomes, and when he got out there, Alan had moved them with the bulldozer.
Okay.
Not good. Probably screwed up the transmissions, and I don't know.
The name Helen mentions immediately rings a bell, because officers know exactly who she's talking about. 70-year officers prepare to head out and speak with Alan, see if he can point them in the right direction. At this point, officers aren't too surprised that Alan's name came up, and don't expect anything serious. In reality, something already happened between Alan and Patrick just a night ago that ended very gruesomely. While officers are on their way to question him, Alan is still in the middle of covering things up. In just a few seconds, a deputy pulls up to his property.
Hey, Alan. How's it going? One thing after another? Hey, I was just coming to chat with you. We had a report that no one knows where Pat is right now.
Yeah, they don't.
Okay. And I just wanted to touch bases with you because I know you got the stuff off your property, but he was going to come by to pick it up, right?
Yeah,
Did you ever see him on that?
I did.
Oh, okay.
They came by here. He was unhappy, very unhappy.
Okay, but it was just all kind of verbal argument or something, or he was just, okay. And he went and got his stuff then, or?
Well, he still has some stuff here. He said he wanted to go cut some wood. He needs some money. So he's probably out somewhere out there, maybe broke down, I don't know.
I'm just trying to create a timeline so I know who last saw him. So when was that he showed up here?
2 nights ago.
2 nights ago?
3 nights ago?
Let's see,
Can't
what is
remember.
Thursday night? Okay.
In the middle middle of the conversation, the deputy notices something off about Alan's demeanor. His responses are short, controlled, almost rehearsed. But as the deputy continues asking questions, things start to feel even more strange.
And then, did he hang around here long, or did he just go right over?
Back and forth.
Back and forth? Coming back onto the property?
Yeah.
Does he still stab stuff here then?
He does.
Oh,
He
okay.
takes it all out.
Oh, okay.
Like that shed, that wooden shed is his.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Oh, okay.
Tires in it. And you can see there's a pickup rack just over that board.
Oh, just the steel there
Yeah, the
poking
steel-
up? Oh, okay.
That's his.
Okay. So he...
Wooden rack over there in the back of the trackers, like that.
Okay. Just kind of bunch of crap laying around?
Right.
Okay. So he got some of it, though?
Yeah.
Do you know where he was taking it to?
Taking it down to the motorhomes.
Oh, where is motorhomes?
Right here, you walk over there and you see.
Okay. Oh, there?
There's his Ram Charger and the other one's in front.
The motorhome Alan is pointing to does indeed belong to Patrick, but more importantly, it holds items that might explain what really happened to him. Alan goes on to explain that he moved Patrick's motorhomes himself because of the ongoing disputes and problems between the two, which sounds normal considering they're frequent business partners. But as the conversation continues, the deputy takes note of Alan's shifting body language and quietly requests another officer to the scene. There's a noticeable tension in the way Alan carries himself. This is because while he's speaking to the deputy, his sole focus is on the barrels sitting just a few feet away, with Patrick's dismembered body parts hidden inside.
He's riding along with me. I was just on a phone call for a minute, so I didn't want to bring that out here, so.
So, did he stay here last night, or?
No.
Oh, okay. Okay. And he didn't tell you where he was going to get the wood?
Hold on. Thursday night he left here, not last night.
Okay. You know, does he have any favorite spots so we can just go
He's got a
check
spot
for
up
him?
there at Bayhorse, pretty close to the top. You go up there before you get to the rest area, the Poggies. She road takes off and goes down the hill and crosses the creek.
Uh-huh.
Way back up in there is a favorite wood cutting spot for him.
Oh, okay. Okay. Is that the only one you know about?
It's the only one he took me to.
Oh, okay. You may be the last person that saw him because he would have then gone up there that night potentially?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Notably, Alan's demeanor shifts once again. With a second officer on scene, he becomes more composed and careful with how he answers questions. Despite this noticeable shift, Alan provides deputies with something useful, a location where Patrick might be. The place he mentions is a remote area about 20 miles out, near the so-called River of No Return. Naturally, it's somewhere deputies need to check, but before heading out there, they decide to take a quick look around the motorhome Alan pointed to earlier. A small decision that will give police something useful to work with later on.
I thought they said...
Doors are ratchet strapped closed.
No,
Looks like it's cut.
it was him that he
Use your
killed.
footprints.
Nope.
Take a photo of those.
Yeah, that one looks open. That looks... I think it looks cut.
If that is a deadbolt, but that's an additional.
I'm assuming Alan had to access it to put it in neutral. Technically, you could be looking at unlawful entry.
Clearly, the locks have been tampered with, consistent with Alan's explanation that he moved the motorhome himself. It's a small detail, but one that could give officers grounds to detain him later on, depending on how this unfolds. But without a warrant, officers can't search inside the motorhome, so they step back, leave the scene, and head towards Big Hill, where Patrick might be. At this stage, there is still no confirmed crime. Alan has been forthcoming, and nothing directly points to anything serious just yet. But by the end of this night, police will have more than one suspect on their hands, and what might be the worst crime this town will ever see. But before we get to that, it's important to note that cases like these can affect the mental health of both the officers and the innocent people involved, and stressful situations in everyone's life can often have the same effect. I hit a point where trying to move on wasn't working, and I didn't really have anyone I could talk to without feeling like I was a burden or worrying about how they'd react or what they'd think. And that's when I realized actually makes you feel like a licensed therapist huge. Click the link off your first month. Let's get back to the video. Roughly 2 hours later, deputies arrive at Big Hill where Patrick was known to frequent for cutting firewood. On the ground, deputies notice tire marks and begin following them, and as they continue along the trail, they spot something in the distance. A red pickup truck matching the description of Patrick's vehicle, with a damaged windshield.
Yeah, I think that's normal. I believe so.
Hey, Pat! Pat! Pat, it's the Nelson County Sheriff's Office! Can you hear us?
Dog's in the seat.
Alive?
What was the dog's name?
Ryder.
Ryder, buddy. Ryder.
Is it awake?
No, it's not moving.
Dog's been in here a while. Messed himself. Oh, he's moving. It's definitely a he, by the way. Hi, baby. Baby, you're okay. We're gonna get you some water, okay? Where'd he go? Where did he go?
Miraculously, Patrick's dog Ryder is still alive after 2 full days, but he's severely dehydrated. As deputies pull Ryder from the vehicle and give him water, they notice something else. Patrick's chainsaw is missing from the truck, suggesting he might still be somewhere nearby. And while they discuss their next steps, Ryder suddenly begins reacting to something in the air. Dogs like Ryder have a sense of smell up to 100,000 times more powerful than humans, comparable even to trained police canine units. Without realizing it, officers have stumbled onto their strongest lead yet, and Ryder might guide them directly towards the answer they're looking for.
Poor buddy.
What's up? No.
So, that makes me think he could be down lower if he would, because his chainsaw's not here.
Yeah.
He always has his
Go down for a
chainsaw.
walk?
I'm thinking so.
I'll go with you. I kind of want to walk down there and see if his behavior still points that way.
Right. Let's walk him.
Come on. Dude, you gotta give me a break. We can't go down that. That is a completely down. There is no angle to that. I'm arguing with a dog.
As luck would have it, the dog picks up a scent, but can't pinpoint a specific location. The reason for that is something officers haven't realized yet, because there is no single place where Patrick might be. He's already been dead for 2 nights, dismembered with his own chainsaw, and scattered across the very mountains deputies are now searching. Some of his remains are already floating down the river of no return, just 20 miles from where they're standing. None of this is apparent to deputies yet, so they decide to take a closer look at Patrick's pickup truck for any additional clues. What they notice inside is very sketchy. Dark red staining across the interior, heavily soaked towels on the driver's seat, items marked with blood, and a discarded mail letter with the name Alan Bruce on it. Something violent happened here, and the more deputies think about it, the more obvious what happened to Patrick becomes. So before the evening ends, they secure the scene and return to town where they talk to other acquaintances of Patrick who collectively make one thing crystal clear. Alan had an ongoing feud with Patrick. He recently moved his motorhome using heavy equipment and damaged it in the process. And he's the only person anyone can think of who might want to hurt Patrick. With that in mind, investigators formally identify Alan Bruce as the primary suspect in Patrick Shelton's disappearance. But the reality and discoveries awaiting investigators in the coming hours are anything but straightforward, as they'll soon find themselves investigating more than one suspect. For the time being, though, search warrants are requested for both properties, and Idaho State Police are called in, bringing in a team of experienced detectives. However, as the multi-agency effort is underway, someone in town is simultaneously running their own homicide cover-up operation. As night falls, Alan moves quietly, continuing continuing to dump body parts and evidence in the river, and burning anything that could tie him to what he's done. At the same time, police's search and rescue units are mobilized, preparing to comb through the surrounding terrain for any sign of Patrick. Around midnight, Deputy Mike is sent to patrol near Patrick's truck, monitoring the area in case anything changes. A few hours into his shift, something does.
Who are you? Stop right there. Just go ahead and stop right there. So what are you coming out here for?
That guy there, Patrick Shelton, that's his stuff. I'm kind of looking after a little bit.
Okay.
Car down here, and I try to come down here to investigate, see if someone's ripping him off.
Okay.
I didn't know it was you guys.
Okay, well, I turned my lights on, and you still were shining your light at me.
Yeah, you had your lights on me. I couldn't see where I was going.
Okay, I'm saying I turned my red and blue lights on.
Yeah.
And you were still spotlighting me. And then I told you, I instructed you to turn it off.
I don't like lights in my eyes about as much as you don't. You know, you had yours and mine, so I got the reason.
No, it's not even. Okay, so what are you doing? You're just keeping an eye on
Patrick Shelton.
Okay.
Got a little fever problem going on down here, and I just want to make sure you weren't that guys.
You having a little what problem?
Thieving.
What? Thievery. Okay.
Talk to Ethan Kelly about that. He'll tell you.
Okay. All right. So you're just trying to keep an eye on stuff then.
Yeah. Make sure nobody's ripping shit off down here.
Okay.
So. Excuse me for if I got you excited.
All right. 270, 240. We can calm down. I'm code for it.
Out here, in complete darkness, Alan Bruce suddenly appears. Nothing about this encounter adds up, because at this point, Alan isn't just the last person to see Patrick alive. He's been in a dispute with him, moved his motorhome after he disappeared, and now he's out here in the middle of the night claiming he's checking on Patrick's property and protecting it from theft. In reality, he came here to finish what he started, to destroy evidence he didn't have time to deal with earlier when deputies interrupted him. Worse yet, just minutes ago, he was at the River of No Return a couple miles away, disposing of what was left of Patrick. Deputy Mike doesn't know any of this yet, but this creepy encounter makes it clear that Alan knows something police don't. Unfortunately for him, this is where things begin to crumble, because coming back here tonight is the mistake that's about to collapse his entire cover-up operation. In the early hours of the following morning, investigators used the overnight developments and the encounter with Alan to accelerate the approval of search warrants. With everything they've seen so far, it's clear Alan knows something they don't, and they need to find out what that is. To do that, they put a plan in motion. First, get Alan off the property, search it, and if any hard evidence is found, bring him back and confront him with it. So while detectives get the search warrants approved, one deputy is sent to Alan's property with a simple objective: get Alan into the car and keep him away from the property to avoid destruction of any evidence. Alan, on the other hand, believes he's already taken care of all the incriminating evidence, and that there's nothing left to find. When Deputy Kelly arrives at the lot, Alan has no clue how quickly his entire cover-up plot will come crashing down on him.
Hey, Alan. How's it going?
Hopefully your day's a little better than when I last ran into you. You said everything was, well, your truck's still broken down, I guess, so maybe that's not the case. You doing alright?
You just hop in the front there. I got unfinished business.
Yeah, he's still got stuff on your property too to get off too, huh? So, I mean, y'all were getting along for a while there, but then, what happened there even? He just started accusing you of stuff, or?
Yeah. And there was nothing I could say to convince him that wasn't.
Well, I appreciate you being available to just chat with them a bit more. They're the professionals. They've got questions I probably didn't ask you.
Even as the deputy tries to subtly probe for more information, nothing useful comes out of it, and Alan sticks to his story. Interestingly, though, Alan appears noticeably more relaxed, likely because he's confident that there's no way police can tie him to a crime. Roughly 30 minutes later, deputies and detectives arrive at the property. While Alan waits inside his car, the discovery of the evidence he failed to cover up starts with Patrick's motorhome.
Sheriff's office. Make yourself known. This is. Got a gun case?
Patrick's empty gun box is consistent with earlier statements that he always keeps a firearm with him. The problem is, that gun is nowhere to be found in the motorhome, and it was never found in his pickup truck the previous day. With Patrick's motorhome cleared, officers move over to Alan's property. Alan owns multiple structures and vehicles on the lot, and after clearing a few of them, deputies find no obvious signs of a crime. It seems like Alan's cover-up operation is successful so far, but that begins to change as deputies notice something unusual lingering across parts of the property.
No, it stinks bad.
Just gotta pull that one down.
So we're just gonna hold on this trailer till we can get keys. If he won't give us keys, then we'll go from there. But we need to hold on this until we get that.
It's probably in that freshly moved.
Do we want to call out the cadaver dog?
Let's go ahead and do it while we're here. We got it cleared. It might be the best way to get something to hold him.
As the search continues, deputies can smell an odor of burnt meat across parts of the lot, but no clear source. After checking around the structures again and searching the open areas, they can't find anything. So, to pinpoint the source, deputies call in a cadaver dog trained to detect human remains. And a few minutes later, police canine Spy arrives on scene. After running the dog across the property, Spy begins alerting to the presence of something inside a set of barrels.
I'm rolling. Cleaned out.
Yeah. So it's not looking, yeah.
Yeah.
No,
we got our window.
In a burned moth.
Ah. Latex gloves, windows.
And doggy treats.
I'm gonna get a backed up picture.
Inside the barrel, officers begin to uncover what Alan tried to hide. Broken window glass of a car, consistent with a bullet impact, latex gloves, and traces of blood on the filter of a vacuum cleaner. After searching other barrels, officers find night vision binoculars, Patrick's baseball cap marked with blood, and most concerning of all, bone fragments and suspected human remains on multiple pieces of clothing. Additional items are recovered as well, including ammunition and magazines, but no firearms, suggesting the weapons may have been moved or hidden somewhere else. Among the findings, detectives note the missing firearms, the lack of any intact remains, and the speed at which the scene appears to have been cleaned, something particularly peculiar, leading them to consider that Alan may not have acted alone. After these discoveries, Alan's property is officially treated as a crime scene. The area is secured and forensic examiners are called in to process the evidence. Detectives now have the hard evidence they need to confront Alan, but while they prepare to do so, an unexpected development happens when Alan's younger brother Larry suddenly shows up at the scene. Hours earlier, police received an oddly timed phone call from him, claiming that if anything happened to Patrick, it was his own fault. Not only that, Larry made additional statements about Patrick that led detectives to question whether they might be dealing with a second suspect.
You know, he's been stealing shit of my brother's, and he said Dad's threatened him. And waved a big ass gun at him. Somebody else said that he's a straight up thief. Shelton's an opportunist. He's going to take advantage of anything that he can, you know, if he thinks he can get away with it.
Right, okay, so he was kind of concerned Patrick might do something stupid, use a gun or something.
Concerned Pat's going to kill him, you know.
Right.
On the call, Larry made it clear that Patrick was the aggressor and the one who had been threatening Alan, leading investigators to suspect he might know more than what he shared on the phone. So naturally, their suspicions rise when he arrives at the search warrant scene unannounced. Once detectives begin speaking with him, Larry seems confident he can prove that Patrick was the problem.
Howdy. How's it going? And you are?
I'm Alan's brother.
Okay, I'm Sergeant Tuttle with the State Police. So obviously, your brother got himself in a lot of trouble.
That's what it sounds like.
It's starting to rain. You want to go in the trailer? We can go sit in the trailer where we're not getting rained on. You said that Shelton, is that the guy?
Patrick Shelton, yeah.
Okay. And he was threatening your brother, right?
Right.
And so is that something your brother told you, or do you have other knowledge of that?
That's something my brother told me. My brother said, hey, he pulled a pistol and waved it in my face and threatened me.
And how long ago did your brother tell you that? About a week?
That was probably about 2 weeks ago.
Okay.
You know, if somebody was waving a gun at me, you know, I'd probably be, you know, wanting to have something to defend myself too, you know.
Right.
But, you know, my brother had been asking Shelton to move for months.
Okay.
And Shelton was like, well, you know, basically. So my brother took the little road grader, the little dozer, and pulled his stuff and put it out here on the other side of the fence.
Is this something your brother told you, or is this something you saw?
As far as moving the stuff? Yeah, I came by the day that he was moving stuff on the way home. What I done know, when my brother had moved the stuff just to try to get the pressure off of my brother, I texted Shelton and I told him, hey, I moved your crap off of my brother's lot. So then he texted me back when he got to town going, I got a beef with you. I mean, Shelton's a drunk and a dope fiend. Okay, so
I told him you're up, not getting your junk off the brother's lot. That was off Alan's lot. That was May 3rd.
Okay.
He goes, I'm trying. I'm broke down, trying to get a ride.
Then you said, never mind, I moved it for you. Give Alan back whatever you took of his.
Yeah, he goes, who is this? Alan brought the beef to me anyway. I don't have any of his. Alan kept showing me pictures of stuff that was missing, you know, where it was and missing, and Patrick was like one of the only people in here, so, I have a beef with you too.
Okay.
Let's put, bring your beef, we know who you are, drug addicts, just remember me with all of us, and I'd taken pictures from the sheriff's office parking lot thinking that, well, maybe he'd think I'm a sheriff, and maybe he'd package, you know, or leave Alan alone and get the f*** out of town, you know. So I put me with all of us, you'll lose. Best thing for you to do is pack up and leave Custer County and don't come back.
Alan's brother goes on to pull up additional messages between him and Patrick. The messages he shares show the feud escalating over time, primarily over Patrick refusing to move his property off the land and accusations that he'd been stealing from Alan. As detectives read through them, it becomes clear that Alan's brother wasn't just aware of the conflict, he was involved in it at some point. This only adds to investigators' suspicions, so instead of continuing to circle around it, the detective says exactly what he's thinking.
Yeah, it's...
And no sign of Shelton, though, huh? Find a body or anything? Or?
There's signs of Shelton, just not living signs of Shelton. One of the things I'm trying to wrap my head around is, I'm like, how did he do that by himself? He's not a very big guy. Like, how would he move things around without somebody helping? Like, if he, let's just say that if he shot Shelton and took him somewhere and dumped his body, who would he call to help him?
I have no clue. I mean, he wouldn't call me.
Right. That's what I'm saying. And does he have good friends that...
I don't know. I don't know what he's capable of, you know? I mean...
Right.
I don't know anybody that would help him move something, you know, help him commit a crime, you know? I mean, my wife would shoot me if I helped him, you know?
How long have you been married?
Since 2016.
Yeah, she murdered you.
9 years. last night she's like going, well, this and that, you know, and what if it was Alan? What if he comes and kills us in our sleep, you know? I was like, you know, because, I mean, she was watching that Criminal Minds for a long time, you know, after she retired from the DA, you know, it's like, you know, serial killers, you know.
Tell her, babe, it's Custer County. You don't worry about serial killers. When it's all said and done, everybody will know everything.
You can pick your friends, and you can pick your nose, but you can't pick your family.
On that interesting remark, Larry shifts from defending his brother to no longer being certain, and begins to see things the way investigators do. With nothing else to add, police wrap up the interview with Larry, still uncertain of his involvement. Now they can finally turn their attention back to Alan, who's still sitting in the car, completely unaware of what's just been uncovered on his lot. At this point, investigators have enough to place Alan under arrest and pursue homicide charges. The problem is, they don't have a body, and they don't have a confession, both of which are critical in building a solid case, especially when it comes to proving exactly what happened and how. But with the evidence discovered on his property, this is their best chance to confront Alan directly and push for a confession. The stakes are extremely high. If Alan plays his cards right, a skilled defense attorney can create just enough reasonable doubt to get him out of this scot-free.
We've got a cadaver dog hitting on other spots on the property that have bone fragments. And the only thing that dog's trained to hit on is dead humans. Now, there was only 2 people here that night, you and him. Right? There's nobody else that I can talk to. Can't find him. If you didn't do it and somebody else did, can you point me in the right direction?
I can't do that. I don't know anybody else is out here.
No, that's like I said, I don't either.
Even after hearing this, Alan continues his denial. But this is exactly why investigators brought him back to the property. It's a part of a strategy known as crime scene exposure. Experienced detectives use this technique to confront suspects with something directly tied to the crime, like the scene itself or key pieces of evidence. This creates psychological pressure, making it harder to maintain a lie, and often triggering unexpected reactions or slips in their story. So investigators take Alan out of the car and bring him back to the center of the lot, back to the very place where everything likely happened, to see if he will finally break.
Well, we want to be able to tell the prosecutor you helped us every which way you could.
I can protect my case and go to prison for the rest of my life? What?
I don't know. I can't tell you what the prosecutor...
I gotta go through the jury trial now.
You don't have to go through nothing right now. So, the way it works here is, he doesn't feel like we should let you stay free, right? So, we're still going to continue to investigate this case, with your help or without your help. We're still going to dig through it.
Yeah. I mean, there's still some things that, like, concern me, like, and I don't know if you were asking about, like, who drove the truck up in the mountains?
Nobody drove it. I towed it up there.
Oh, you towed it up there?
Yeah.
Okay. With which vehicle?
My Dodge.
Okay.
The tow barn towed it up there.
Oh, okay. What'd you do with the dog?
Left it in the truck. I wasn't dispatched, but there's not just in the truck. Maybe a little bigger for it.
Yeah.
No, the dog didn't do nothing.
I didn't want to kill it.
Yeah, it didn't do nothing. Yeah, so,
we're in a rock and a hard place right now, right? Where we've been all day. Where we're going to continue to be until we can completely wrap this up and figure out what the hell actually happened.
Well, before you take me to jail, I'd like to lock myself up.
Okay. Well,
yeah, we're not going to leave this unsecured.
We'll lock it all up and bring in the keys.
Close the gate.
Yeah.
But then call until.
Well, that's part of it, but you also destroyed some evidence.
What did you?
I don't know. I've never been in that situation.
Alan. Come on. Did you burn a body? Come on.
Yeah, I did.
And you didn't tell anybody. So, like, look at it from our point of view. You know, we gotta do the right thing for Patrick's family. You know what I mean? We gotta try to find that body. You know, we gotta do the right thing for his family.
There is no body. No, he was reduced down to nothing. Nothing.
Did you chop him up?
No, I threw him in a vertebra with a bunch of wood underneath him. Yeah, I chopped him up.
Like,
I took the chainsaw to him.
Okay, where's the chainsaw?
It's gone. It's
Found
gone.
Did you throw it in the river?
I got rid of it. I burned it.
You burned the chainsaw?
Yeah.
Is it in the barrel? And I've never chainsawed a body, but I think there would be like blood and skin and gristle and stuff, you know.
Yeah, it was ugly.
And so, like, where's that at? How did you clean that up?
Took a shovel and rake, raked up everything I could, washed it down with a hose, and put Borax on it.
And the chainsaw's where?
The only thing about when you kill somebody and they take all this time to do this, just to tell on themselves, like, I feel like you wasted your goddamn time. Like, hell no, y'all gonna figure that shit out. The fuck I did, I'm not about to waste all my time trying to cover it up just to tell you what the fuck I did.
Burn barrel burned on his last day.
Alan finally cracks, admitting that he shot Patrick, dismembered him, and burned the body before disposing of the remains. With a confession now on record, investigators turn their attention to a critical question. Did Alan act alone, or is there something even darker he's still hiding? But before detectives can press further, Alan makes a surprising claim.
You came up with that pistol, we're doing Jimmy.
And we're not arguing. We're not arguing that point. We're just trying to figure out, like, what you did with the body, how you did it, and where it's at, if there's anything left.
Not much.
Did you have any help with it?
I just ready to shoot, shut up, and shovel.
Do you see our point? I mean, what we're trying to do at all, Alan?
I tried to hide it and get away with it.
Yeah. And like I said, we're just trying to, you know, get some closure for his family and present the picture so that everybody understands why you did what you did.
Yeah, you better pull the trigger. Mother, things coming up with the gun. At that point, it was me again, but.
Despite Alan's claims that he killed Patrick in self-defense, it hardly explains the brutality and concealment that followed. Following this, Alan is arrested and charged with first-degree murder, along with multiple additional charges. Later that day, dive teams and officers are sent to the river area where Alan claimed he dumped the remains. But despite extensive search efforts, nothing of evidentiary value is recovered. In the days that follow, police obtain a warrant to search Alan's phone, where they find the most critical evidence in the case. On Alan's phone, detectives find a hostile exchange from May 7th, where Patrick texts Alan, "You will be seeing me soon. Make your peace." And Alan responds, "Never be at my place after dark or else." But it's in the camera roll where they find what they had been unable to locate for days. A photo of Patrick, dead inside the cab of his truck with his silver pistol next to him. The photo was taken at 6:25 a.m. on May 8th. When asked about it, Alan claims he took the photo as proof, in case he ever needed it. A couple months later, in July 2025, police receive a call from fishermen reporting a burn barrel floating in a different area of the Salmon River. Officers and divers recover the barrel and transport it for forensic examination, but no human remains or items linked to Patrick are found inside, likely because everything had already been destroyed or lost in the River of No Return. As for the missing firearms, investigators later uncover both the rifle and Patrick's silver pistol at the residence of an associate of Alan. The man claims Alan brought the weapons to him, asking him to sell them, and with no evidence tying his associates or his brother to the homicide or the cover-up, investigators determine that Alan acted alone. In October 2025, Alan's initial charges were reduced to second-degree murder and destruction of evidence after Alan entered an Alford plea, meaning he maintains his innocence while acknowledging that prosecutors have enough evidence to convict him. In November 2025, a judge denies Alan's last-minute attempt to withdraw the plea and sentences him to 20 years in prison. He must serve at least 10 years before becoming eligible for parole, meaning he will get a chance to walk free in his 80s. But given the severity of the crime, there is a very real possibility he never leaves prison at all.
You gotta do that. And I think it's because of that self-defense shit. I'm about to get off though. Did a quick little hour. I'm tired though. I might be back tomorrow. I don't know yet, but I might be back tomorrow.